Today's title is Are You Rejecting Answered Prayer? So I've been doing a lot of thinking. Well, who knows how long. And especially this past week. And yesterday I was deep cleaning my apartment. So lots of thinking. And I'm just like, what I'm trying to distinguish is what is an opportunity and what's a distraction. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, is this the open door or, hold back? So that's what I've been trying to distinguish. And I have 3 examples and then biblical examples. And then we can relate it to any situation. So we'll do Old Testament. The Israelites. They were slaves. They complained, and prayed. They prayed, Lord, get us out of here, for years. And finally, they're out. They're free. They're headed to the promised land. But because they complained on every little thing, there was a delay. And they walked around in circles. It was supposed to be maybe a 3-day journey. I forget how many miles it was. But because they were ungrateful, they complained, it was a 40-year delay. And they were taken care of. Their feet grew, their shoes grew with their feet. They never had holes. They were never worn out. Their clothes were never worn out. They're in the frigging wilderness. They're in the desert. They're in extreme inclements of weather and never had an issue. They complained about the food. God supernaturally provided food. And they're like, we ate better when we were slaves. What? So constant complaining. But they had their answer. They were free. And let's go to the New Testament. So we have Zachariah and Elizabeth, John the Baptist's parents. They were praying and believing for a baby, and she was old. Now, I don't think any translation says how old. It just says she was old with age, but definitely past childbearing years. And finally, she was pregnant. And Gabriel came to speak to Zachariah. He was praying in the temple, and he's just like, hey, listen, Elizabeth is pregnant. She's going to have a baby. You're going to name him John, da-da-da-da-da. And Zachariah was like, I don't think so, man. She's old. I'm old. I don't think we're going to have a baby. They were praying for a baby, and God answered their prayer. So in modern vernacular, Gabriel was like, who the heck are you? I'm Gabriel. I stand in the presence of God, and I was sent here with a message for you that you're going to have a baby. And because you're a stupid fool, now you're not going to talk until that happens. The answer came and rejected it. Now we're going to fast forward. Peter's in jail. He's about to be beheaded. They got a prayer team going on, and they're praying, fasting. Angels break Peter out of jail. He goes to the house, knocks on the door. Rhoda answers and shuts the door in his face. And she's like, hey, Peter's at the door. And they're like, okay, you're hallucinating because he's obviously in jail. The answer came. The answer came. He was freed from jail, and they didn't believe it. Peter's there knocking. And they still wouldn't answer the door till finally they did. And they're like, whoa, Peter, it's you for real. So how many of us are missing opportunities because we don't think it can come that quickly, because we really don't believe what we're standing for? And it can be just, if you're believing for a spouse, for someone to date, and you have a list, but that person doesn't meet all your requirements, so you totally reject that person on something very petty. But that person's for you. And we miss it. It could be a house. The list, it's everything, but you have to drive further. But it's everything that you want. For a job, everything that you want. But there's something that isn't doesn't quite meet your standards. And that's what I told Mom. I said, I don't know, like, am I compromised? Because that's where we can get too much into thinking where it's like, am I compromising because it doesn't meet everything that I have? Well, there's not a perfect person. There's not going to be a perfect job. There's always going to be some little glitch. But it could be the answer to prayer. And so those are just some examples that I want to give to you today. And the only, because I am kind of processing this myself, the only advice that I can give you is, what are you feeling on the inside? Like, your mind can be going 1,000 miles per second, thinking and debating and doing all this, weighing the pros and cons, but what do you feel on the inside? Do you feel peace or just still an unsettled feeling? And if you still feel unsettled, don't do anything. But if you feel peace about it, then that's your answer. Whether, maybe it doesn't hit all the right spots, but or meet the mark, whatever you want to say, but that's probably the leading that you need. So I just want to encourage you today to just really think about what I said, because a lot of us are missing opportunities when that's what we were praying for. So I do kind of want to talk a little bit about fasting, because that's coming up here in January very quickly. And this is the time to start really preparing yourself, not the day of the fast, because you need to understand why you're fasting. So I'll get into that maybe next week or the week after. And that's kind of what I have on my mind. So I love you. Have a great week, and stay warm.